Well, I'm moving along with another sample Sunday. I typically record 4 sample Sundays in advance. So this is the third of 4. And this one here is Catnap's Canadian Islay Artisanal Blend, approximately 48% alcohol by volume. Well, as it's going, I'm going to stronger and stronger. And it says, careful opening. Ooh, that is kind of ominous here. Careful opening. Okay. Oh, he really filled it right up to the brim. Okay. There's our 300 ml sample of Catnap G's Canadian Islay blend, approximately 48% ABV. Thanks for the warning, Catnap, because I would have just gone along in a very cavalier manner and opened this and spilled half of it all over my table here. So there you go. I'm guessing this might be a little bit like my Islay Canadian blend, or Canadian Islay blend, which is mostly Canadian whiskey. It started out with, light things like Seagram's VO and Weiser's Deluxe, and then it would have a little bit of Ardbeg 10 added to it, and maybe some Big Pete, and a whole bunch of other things. And then as time went on, I got towards a lot of the things from distilleries like Shelter Point and Macaloni's, and the one in the Yukon, Two Brewers, and things like that. So especially with the Macaloni's, there was more and more sherry influence with time. So it went from something light and corny to something more sherry and malty, and mixed with the Islay, the usual Islay stuff like Port Charlotte and Ardbeg and anything from Islay that I could get. Because I have an Islay blend and I have a Canadian blend, and I just can, combine the two together, and that's where my Canadian and Islay blend comes from. But this might have been made specifically with specific Canadian whiskeys and specific Islay whiskeys. I don't know how he did it. I just pour a bunch of things into a bottle and hope for the best. Maybe he's more scientific about it. I don't know. Okay. Smells like Canadian corn whiskey. And a touch of smoke. And how big was the thing that this was poured from? Good question. It has decent legs. At 48%, it should be as viscous as possible. I'm going to coat the sides of the glass a little more. And I'm going to see what we get from the ridge on down. You can kind of see it starting to happen here. You can kind of see it starting to run down from those droplets that are collecting on the ridge. Yeah. And slowly and viscously. Oh. Okay. So, corny Canadian whiskey with some smoke to it. Maybe this 300 ml sample is not big enough to really convey the whole thing. I will see. I get the last out of this tiny little bottle that I can. And this is a bottle that I sent him with something in it before. And if I peel carefully the label, it will tell me what I poured for him. Let's see now. What did I pour for Catnap into this little Canadian Infinity? Canadian Infinity and Islay blend. Oh, so he sent me some of my own medicine, but his own version of it. Interesting. Very interesting. Canadian Infinity Islay finish. Okay, yeah, okay. He sent me some of my own brand of medicine, but his own version of it. Okay, interesting. Interesting take on that. Okay. What Canadian did he use? Did he use Canadian Club? Did he use Wisers? I would really love to see in the comments below what went into this. Because I'm getting mostly sweet Canadian corn on the nose. And that's what I'm getting on the palate, with some Oloroso or wine. And then I get, as soon as it transitions, I get the smokiness. Yeah. As soon as it transitions, I get some smokiness. It's reminding me of Ardbeg 10, or even Lagavulin 16. I don't know what he put in this, but it's doing very much what my Canadian and Islay blend was doing. Fascinating little sample. Yeah. On the nose, as well as the Canadian, with maybe some sherry cask, then I get the peat smoke. Yeah, I think it's leaning towards Ardbeg and Lagavulin. Like I said, I'm curious to see what he used. Heavy, earthy peat. I'm not getting so much bonfire, and I'm not getting so much medicinal and Band-Aid and coastal sea salt spray kind of thing. I'm getting more earthy peat, much more earthy peat than I am getting coastal or Band-Aid or medicinal. So yeah, it's probably some Ardbeg in there and some, I don't know, maybe some Bowmore, because maybe that sherry cask influence that I'm getting is not from the Canadian, but maybe it's from the Scotch. Maybe it's from Bowmore. Yeah, I'm really curious what he put in there. Really, really curious. It's an interesting blend. It is definitely interesting. Yeah. Careful opening. I like that. Oh, it's gonna lose my old label too. That's my old label that was on there. It's gonna lose that. I'm gonna clean this little bottle, this little sample bottle, and put something else in it for somebody. Yeah, it's intriguing. Yeah, it could be quite a bit of Port Charlotte or more in here. Some Ardbeg. Is there Kalila? I don't know. It's hard to tell with a blend like this. But it's good. I like it. Here's to you, Catnap. Slancheva. Well, I can't really. It's Canadian, so cheers. Canadian, Islay. Yeah, it's your very good health.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.